Okay, so I'm going to try to fit as much as I possibly can in this 5-minute video. So it might go a little fast, but I want to cover sourcing. I want to cover some of the material. I want to actually help you out as well with some of the loop questions because I know that that can be a little confusing. And this question itself that you have is kind of confusing. So one of the first things we want to talk about is looking at our loop questions. So three main things here that if you can answer them effectively, you should be able to answer your exit ticket. Number one, how does Washington think African Americans could best move forward and upward? Well, what I'm going to do as I do each of these is I'm going to give you little notes that you can absolutely steal to help you out. If you're watching this video and you're completing the assignment, then congratulations, you just made or just had a much easier time instead of just skipping right to the source. So, what we're looking for here is how does he think that they can advance? So, if I wanted to make this little note, once again, bada boom, how does Washington, I'm going to use a W just to save time, think blacks in the South can advance, right? The idea here is how can they continue to move forward, right? Economically, so that they have more money. Educationally, they learn more. I'm going to sneeze. Don't sneeze. Ah, God. All right. Number two. How does Washington use the metaphor of a hand to illustrate his argument about race relations in the South? I'm going to just tell you straight up. This part comes right around. I could have sworn that I had it immediately, and now here I am having a hard time finding it. Right here. This paragraph is going to help you out. It's a metaphor. He's not literally saying, like, how does a hand, right? It tells you right there. He uses a metaphor of a hand. So what is he saying about race relations in the South? Think about what a hand is, right? You have one hand, right? This is the entirety of your hand, but then within your hand, you have 5 different fingers. And these fingers can work independently, like this, or they can come together, right? I can make some goofy, like, hand things. I can make a fist, right? Particularly relevant for what you're going to see. Hint, hint. Third one, according to Washington, are economic rights the means or the ends to equality? I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about this because this is a difficult question to understand. So, first off, to break it down, when he says economic rights, he means things like the ability to buy, sell, and go wherever or whatever or wherever. Right? Think about what we learned about with sharecropping. The idea here is that they were locked into this land. They didn't have options. That was their one way of making money. So how does, like, these economic rights, okay, the ability to buy whatever you want, to work whatever you want, to sell, to go, all of those things, right? Is that when he says the means or the end, right? The means means like the method, right? So is that the way that they get these things? Or the ends, is this like the goal? Equality. So his question is the ability to work and buy and go and sell whatever you want, is that how they get equality? Or is that the actual, like, end goal of equality? And for this question, there's no real right or wrong answer. It's based on really how you interpret it. Sort of. Now, as we move forward, you can see we have some questions within here. I've already kind of showed you how I want you to make notes for the loop question, so I'm not going to use a ton of time to try to do that. Instead, what I'm going to focus on is, if we look at our exit ticket, was he more concerned with the short-term material well-being or long-term political or social rights? So the idea here is, does he think that it's more important for black people in America in this time to be able to provide for themselves, provide for their families, to be able to work a variety of different jobs, right? Factories, all these different types of things, right? That would be the short-term material well-being. Okay? Ability to provide and work compared to the political and social rights, right? So this is like safety to vote, safety to all these things, right? We talked about this at the beginning. This is the core of the argument. What does he think is more important? Being able to work and make money and provide, or having all of these, like, huge idea rights? there's a disagreement here, you can make your own argument, and